Hey, Gut Fox here. That's my team on the right. This is my pre-road to the playoffs team. Hopefully I'll get you some RTTP player gameplay later this week, but today I am reviewing the MVP sets that came out today and all the players in them. So buckle up. It's going to be a long one. I suggest going to MUT and filtering their Madden 16 players by sets, MVPs, and we can go along with us as he quits early. So, again, my team on the right. Let's talk about the sponsor today, is alcohol dependency, letting me sleep since I was nestled in my mother's arms. But first up, we'll start with the quarterbacks, Andrew Luck. I love the 97 throw power with his mobility. I hate the low throw deep accuracy, though. It will frustrate you. I used Tom Brady's 90 card for a long time, and his 87 throw deep missed quite a few game-changing completions. You know, the ones where your wide receiver's behind the defense? But if throwing deep isn't your game, Luck is your guy. Andy Dalton. A really good balanced quarterback with 95 throw power, 96 short, 91 medium, and 90 deep. Mobility is very usable on this card, but I wouldn't say he excels in one area over another. Not the fastest, not the strongest, but get Dalton if you need an omni-tool. Someone who can do most everything for you and do it pretty well. Let's move on to wide receivers because they'll probably be pretty expensive here, and why not? So the wide receivers to look for, Tavon Austin. You know, speed moves like Mick Jagger. 97 speed, 96 acceleration, 99 agility, 96 elusiveness, 96 spin, 99 juke, 92 route running, and 94 spec catch. He'll be a great kick returner for you. Wide receiver screens and drags. Basically the guy you want to have his hands on the ball. And he's got speed like Perriman, which is always a plus. So he's going to be a huge weapon for you if you get him. He'll probably be the highest or close to the highest priced road to the playoff players, so maybe look for his set players that are hard to acquire, you know, those 5 that you need. And if you want to look through, there's a blog out on EA, and you can just basically look at the sets on the game too if you want to see that. But second best wide receiver, I think, is Allen Robinson. 94 route running with a 96 release, 97 catch in traffic at 6'3". And he's got some other good stats. This will be a third down stud for you, kind of like Larry Fitzgerald, almost, that 94 card. But interesting enough, besides for the 6'3" card, there aren't super tall wide receivers or defensive backs in the MVP set, so that's sad face. Rashard Matthews, I think, is too slow as a wide receiver at 89 speed. And Kendall Wright has a bad mix of stats. High route running but low release means he can't be relied on against man press coverage. Against zone and non-man press, he's good, but he is too short at 93 speed, might struggle to get as much separation as someone like Tavon Austin will, his counterpart here in the wide receiver category in the MVP sets. All right, we'll move on to halfbacks. To wrap up that wide receiver section, look to get Austin and Robinson instead of Matthews and Wright. All right, we have Mark Ingram and Chris Ivory as the MVPs in the halfbacks. I like Ivory better here. He's now tied with Lynch for the highest truck in the game at 98. Similar speed Ingram and Ivory have, although Ingram has much better agility. I think they'll be both good backs for you, don't get me wrong, but I think Ivory will be amazing at picking up that 1 yard and potentially more with that strength and trucking. Fullback Marcel Reese, quite an exciting player here. More of a running and receiving back than a blocking one, but his low 80s impact and run block means he can do that decently well too. He's actually looking like a pretty good weapon here. For your offense. That's, if you use the fullback. If you come out in 5 wides, like this guy did this play, and if you do it quite frequently, he will probably be a waste of coins because you won't see the field. But 95 acceleration with 89 speed and a fullback means he'll beat middle linebackers to the flats. All right, move on to tight ends. Larry Donald is very bad. He's a receiving tight end without speed. Run block at 71 means you can't use him there. His only strength would be his red zone ability, and 96 spec catch at 6'6" is good, but you could probably get that same production out of cheaper players. I predict Larry Donald will be one of the cheapest MVPs out there. Charles Clay is a better run blocker, but still a little low. In that category at 78, if you want to run to his side, that will probably get beaten by outside linebackers and defensive ends shedding a block and basically shutting down your run game, which is the exact opposite of what you want, obviously. He kind of seems like a tweener at tight end, a better run blocking but worse receiving Shannon Sharp. So I just get a run blocker and a pass receiver and sub him in and out, running pass, although that does sometimes give away gameplay. So a tweener could have some value there. Left tackle, Jared Veldheer. Get him if you pass the ball a lot. Otherwise, his run blocking is low, so I will not be picking him up. But he's got good stats otherwise. Josh Klein, he's good. If you have an offense that pulls guards, frequently get this man, Klein. If you have an inside zone offense, though, still stick with legend Steve Hutchinson. He's still a better player for that scheme. All right, Travis Frederick, the center. I've loved all his cars this year with that high run blocking. It's amazing for my running scheme. Unfortunately, I suggest not investing in centers right now. With a dual style reward being a center like last year, this market will crash hard here and could in the next couple weeks. But when his price goes down, I'm getting this card faster than you can say, oh, it doesn't matter. He already got it. All right, right guard John Greco, the third best lineman on the Browns, has 97 run block. I recommend him just for that stat. But his others like 91 pass block and 86 awareness means he's the best right guard out there right now. Greco is a huge upgrade. Right tackle Lane Johnson. The right side of the line helped its position more than the left here on the O-lineman. Although that's because the left has more competition. Awareness at 80 on Lane. Might miss some blocks, but his other stats are straight out of John Madden's Dream World, which are not to be confused with my Dream World of all you can eat steaks, ribs, and wings. Left end Michael Bennett. A hybrid end that can play well in a 3-4 or 4-3 like the New England playbook where you go between formations. He might be a little slow though, for my taste especially at 78 speed, and his block shed at 90 means he's not the best at 3-4. It's a little bit low block shed at the left end for me. Like I said, a hybrid between the two that doesn't stand out in one scheme or the other. I'd rather get players that specialize and sub them into different formations or situations, but he's a good plug and play if you don't like to make subs. All right, let's move on to right end Alan Bailey. Low 80 speed with high strength, 93 power moves, and 88 block shed. Seems like another tweener like Bennett at left end. I will be skipping Bailey. I do not think he offers the production to price ratio. Defensive tackle BJ Raji, 93 block shed at 69 speed. Skip. Do not get BJ. Terrence Knighton, 96 block shed with 77 speed. Nice. 88 play rec for screens. Power moves at 88 means he's not a great pass rusher on the inside. But Damon Harrison's captain card is better against the run. But Knighton is faster, better help against those screens and chasing down quarterbacks in case he gets off a blocker. So Knighton might be a guy you want to look at as a good run stuffer, but okay against the pass. All right, let's move on to left outside linebacker. Elvis Dumervil and Pernell McPhee here. Great. Not really. 2, 3, 4 outside linebackers. Why did they do this? They couldn't have split it between a 3-4 and 4-3, give a guy a higher zone there. But they're both slow. But I will say they have some very interesting stats in other places. Dumervil has 99 finesse moves. I love me some 99 finesse moves. And 95 play rec. Block shed is 84, so he'll really struggle against the run, and it almost makes him unownable, except for in pass rush situations against pocket passers, because the slow speed will get torn up by mobility. McPhee has a 91 block shed, so he's better against the run, and 97 power moves and 94 play rec. 80 speed on McPhee here, so he'll struggle to keep up with the faster quarterbacks like Dumervil will, especially running backs trying to chase him down on the edge. But he's definitely the better of the two new outside linebackers when you look at all their stats. But I wouldn't be owning either one of them. Middle linebackers. Eric Kendricks is a user dream. And back to that, I won't be owning them because I don't run a 3-4, and I don't think they're good enough as defensive ends, especially with the new players that have just been released that I will talk about in a little bit. Middle linebackers. Eric Kendricks. 94 speed, 94 acceleration with good block shed hit power. Not a fan of the lower play rec and zone, but his block shed and speed means he's good against the run, both on the inside and outside. Just an all-around great middle linebacker right now. Brandon Marshall is 93 zone and 90 play rec. He's a great Ronco rotisserie middle linebacker. Set him and forget him. He should be your second middle linebacker in a 3-4 if you use your Kendricks, depending on how many coins you have, of course. But if you had to choose between the two, I'd still go with Kendricks in a 4-3. As a note, if you didn't see that on Twitter, originally EA had Gerald Hodges as the Vikings MVP. forgetting that he'd been traded to the 49ers earlier this year. Just thought I'd point it out. You know, we all make mistakes. Right outside linebacker, Aaron Lynch and Danny Lanza are the other MVPs for that position. And this is nice work here, EA. You split it between a 3-4 and a 4-3 guy. Although we'll get to that in a little bit. We'll start with a 3-4 guy, Aaron Lynch. What a stud. Amazing. He's a mid-90s David Hasselhoff type stud. 89 speed, 99 acceleration with 97 power moves, and 89 strength. This is a pass rusher. If you have the coins, this guy should be on the field on every third down or passing situation. His block shot at 87 is a little low to hold against the run, but I love players like this, ones that can specialize in certain situations in games. I love him like I love my 3 years of 5th grade. Danny Lanza. I wish I could be as complimentary to Danny as was to Aaron, but 84 speed with 86 zone coverage and 91 play rec just isn't good enough when there are cards like Levante David's 85 out there beating the core stats of Danny at the 4-3 linebacker spot. But Danny is significantly better against the run than David, or Levante David, because David's also first name. Always trust a guy with 2 first names. And he can rush the passer here. But he's cursed as kind of a tweener here. Again, like the defensive ends. Although there is value and flexibility for what's that worth. You know, you don't have to get 2 guys to play one position. Cornerbacks. Rashean Mathis will be an absolute stud for zone coverage scheme with 97 zone and 96 play rec. 91 speed is low, but not terribly so. His low block shed might hurt him in a cover 2 zone, trying to stuff the run. Might be worth trying this guy at free safety to see what he can do back there, although his catching is a little low. Jason Barrett is the man guy. 94 speed with 95 man coverage. Press is only 85, unfortunately, so it ruins that scheme. Catching is nice on the card, but he's short at 5'10". Jonathan Joseph, a well-rounded player. 5'11", unfortunately, with good, not great stats everywhere. 93 speed, 94 man, 92 zone, 88 press. His borderline great stats are his 92 play rec and 96 jumping. Solid player, but nothing that jumps out of the screen at you, except for his jumping, of course. Oh yeah, and he has hose for hands at 69 catch. Free safety Mike Mitchell, a run support free safety with terrible zone coverage, which to be honest is expected with 97 hit power. 88 play rec is okay, 92 speed and 93 acceleration are very solid. But I tend to play my free safety more over the top. Mike Mitchell would do well in a more free safety in the box type system. Strong safety Kurt Coleman. Maybe EA is sending us a message with these cards here. Kurt Coleman is a good over-the-top strong safety. And with the recent release of Brian Dawkins at free safety and Ed Reed at strong, my whole world is turning upside down face. Coleman has good speed and acceleration at 92 and 95. Zone coverage at 93 is tied with Aloka as the second best in the game behind the new Ed Reed. I wish his play rec and awareness were flipped. They're 87 and 90 respectively, as I like the play rec to be highest. 82 catch and 75 man coverage, which is about average for a strong safety. 82 catch is really good though. He's only 5'11", and I don't love the agility, but I might give this card a go to see it perform in that spot. William Moore, the second strong safety. He's more of a traditional strong safety than Coleman. 97 hit power with only 84 zone coverage. So you get Moore and Mitchell back there, and you are going to have a hard hitting duo. 90 speed, 96 acceleration, low play rec at 83, unfortunately. A good in the box strong safety with surprisingly low block shed at 68. So that's it for the MVPs. I might review the signature series and base road playoffs players later. But for more base players that stuck out on a brief review of going through the players, Jadeveon Clowney, you should get yourself this man. He's a top pass rusher right now. Put him at your 4-3 end or blitzing outside linebacker. Make sure he's in there on third downs for you. Julius Peppers is elite. Love him for the height and user stats, except his speed is the only thing holding him back and might make him close to unusable. Ryan Shazier, got an elite. Always a great user at Shazier, although the new Kendricks card middle linebacker might have him beat. Not so sure yet. Avoid Brent Grimes cornerback card like the plague. It is terrible. And signature series players are ones that deserve full reviews on their own, like Ed Reed's 98 overall crazy card. Alright, that's it for today. Thanks for watching through this whole long thing. Call to action. I'll see you tomorrow.